Welcome to our apartment rental management system. In this video, we'll talk about the original code, the changes we've made, and how they improve the functionality.
The counts, studio count, 1-bedroom count, 2-bedroom count are initialized to track how many of each apartment type are rented. This block print a menu for the user to interact with the program. The menu offers option to rent apartment, update rental information, enter rent, view all apartment, or exit. This asks the user to enter their choice, and if input is not valid integer, it catches the value error and asks for input again. If the user chooses option 1, rent apartment, a new apartment object is created. The rent apartment method is called to let the user rent an apartment. The apartment is added to the apartment dictionary using the apartment number as a key. If the user chooses option 2, update rental information, the program asks for an apartment number. It checks if the apartment number exists in the apartment dictionary. If it does, it calls the apartment rental method to update the rental details. If the input is invalid, it catches the value error and asks for a valid number. If the user chooses option 3, end rent, it asks for an apartment number to end the rental. The end rent method is called, which remove the apartment from the dictionary and make it available again. If the user chooses option 4, view all apartments, the program lists rented apartments using the view apartment method. It then shows how many studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom apartments are available. For each apartment number from 1 to 30, it checks if the apartment is not in the apartment dictionary and display it as available. If the user chooses option 5, exit, the program exits the loop and saves the apartment data to a CSV file by calling the save apartment function. If the input is not a valid choice 1 to 5, the program prints an error message and prompts the user again. This is the constructor for the apartment class. It initializes attributes like num, name, month, day, year, type, price, etc., which define the apartment and its rental details.
Next is the def rent apartment. This method lets the user rent an apartment. It asks for an apartment number, ensuring the number is between 1 and 30, and that the apartment is available. The method then collects other details like the tenant's name, rent date, apartment type, rental duration, and payment method, full or down payment. It calculates the total payment and the remaining payment accordingly. Next is the def update rental. This method allows the users to update the tenant's name and rent date. Then sa def view apartment, this method prints the details of the apartment, including the tenant's name, rent dates, rental duration, type, price, and remaining payment. Next is the def end rent. This method ends the rental for a specific apartment by removing it from the apartment's dictionary. Next is the def save apartments. This function saves all the apartment data to a CSV file named rental CSV. Next is the def load apartments. This function loads apartment data from a rental CSV file and return it as a dictionary.
In the main function, we start by initializing the number of available apartments for each type. Here we set the initial counts of a studio, 1 bedroom, and 2 bedroom apartment to each 10. This is important because it represents the initial inventory of apartments we have available for rent. These variables will be used throughout the program to track the number of available apartments. For example, when someone rents an apartment, the corresponding count will decrease by 1. This is crucial for managing the availability of apartments in the system. In this part of the code, we display the apartment type to the user, including their price and the description. This is key because it helps the user to understand what each apartment type includes before making a decision. This code snippet is used to capture and validate the rental duration in months. It ensures that the user provides a positive number per month. If a user enters an invalid input, like non-numeric, a value error is caught, and the user is prompted to enter the correct value. Once the user selects an apartment type, we assign the corresponding values for self.type, self.price, and self.features. These attributes define the apartment type's cost and detailed description of what the apartment includes. This block of code is used to safely capture and validate user input for selecting menu, option 1 to 5. If the user enters anything other than a number, like punctuation or symbols, it raises a value error, and the program informs the user to input a valid choice between 1 and 5. The continue statement ensures that the loop will ask the user again for a valid input. This part of code handles the action to end a rental for a selected apartment. The endRent method is invoked if the apartment number exists in the apartment's dictionary. If the apartment is not found, the user is notified with an error message. Again, input validation is handled using the try block to prevent invalid input like string or non-numeric values. This section handles the payment process for an apartment rental. The user can choose to either pay the full amount or make a partial down payment. If they select down payment, the program ensures that the down payment does not exceed the total rental price. If the down payment is higher than the total price, the program adjusts it accordingly. The try and accept blocks ensure that the inputs are valid or numerical. This allows the user to update rental details of a selected apartment. If the apartment number exists in the apartment's dictionary, the update rentals method is called to update the tenant information. If the apartment number is invalid or not found, an error message is displayed. The try block ensures that the input is an integer and handles invalid input.